Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this post-match review of Manchester United versus Tottenham on Footy Fantasy. So, what a game, guys! What a game! I believe this was a game that no one had an idea of what to expect in terms of results. I know a lot of people had, um, predicted a draw in this game just because these are two teams that um, changed their managers halfway through the season. Two teams that have shown inconsistency in their performances. Um, so it was definitely a game that we knew was going to be exciting, but we didn't know who was going to be winning this game. But obviously, the win was Manchester United's day, and I gotta say, I'm really happy as a United fan today. I know there is this is going to be all positive. There's going to be no negative talk on here today, just because I believe we saw a couple of great performances today from individuals and also as a team collectively. So where do we even start today? So obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, the GOAT, or should I say one of the GOATs, because there was a few GOATs in the building, and I want to shout out to Tom Brady for making an appearance, and you know the rest was history, and it was really nice to see another GOAT in Cristiano Ronaldo perform at the level at which he performed today. Wow. Obviously, you got to give him man of the match, a hat trick. Who would have ever thought? After not playing for 2 weeks, he comes back in and scores a hat trick. Kudos to that. And this is not me saying that Cristiano Ronaldo is back and, he's going to be performing at this level every game, or we should expect him to perform at this level in every game. But it was just nice to see a glimpse of the old Ronaldo that, over these years has, wowed the world, has been just been amazing, has just been amazing. So it was definitely it was definitely nice to see that kind of performance from him. And whether it was a reaction to all the things that have been going on the media, I don't want to speculate. But all we can do is just appreciate this moment for what it is. Um, you know, Obviously, like I said, Cristiano Ronaldo, man of the match. You just can't not give it to him after a hat trick. And that first goal, wow, that took us back in time with that goal. That leaving Cristiano Ronaldo open with that much space. That there's going to be one outcome, and that's the ball in the back of the net, guys. The next person I wanted to shout out is Fred, guys. I know he's not a fan favorite. I know a lot of people, criticize Fred on a weekly basis. This is not me saying that Fred is, he should be a mainstay on the team and, we should build a team around Fred. This is not what I'm saying. But we have to, be honest with ourselves. And ever since Ragnick has come in, I gotta say, Fred has really stood up to the challenge. He's been one of the mainstays. He's been one of the main contributors in our midfield. Today, just seeing his tenacity, his energy, and he's shown us that he can actually, he's a ball playing midfielder. If he has the right people around him. Today he showed that he can comfortably do the box to box role. You know, having Matic at the back, just to solidify things, keep things comfortable, and then having Pogba as more of the creative midfielder, that really just freed up Fred to show his true qualities. And, he showed us what he gives to Brazil. I know we all talk about it is why do our players not perform the way they do for their national teams? And I think today he showed us why he keeps getting selected for Brazil. And I think, he's a player that deserves some of the respect, deserves the praise that some of us do give him. And I feel other United fans need to start criticizing and start looking at his gameplay. And I think he adds a lot to this team. So I would have given man of the match to Fred, but who would have thought that CR7 would have pulled a hat trick out of the bag? So I'm going to give that to CR7, but a huge shout out to Fred. I think Fred was immense today, and we just saw a totally different kind of midfield. The next play I wanted to talk about was Sancho. really happy to see him coming into his own. He's showing us glimpses of what he used to do in Germany, and also in the Champions League, watching him at Dortmund. So it's really nice to see him come together, because I was nervous for Sancho, because I just didn't want another flop. Manchester United were notorious for bringing in talent into the club, but we don't nourish those talents. We just let talents fizzle out, and then it's name blaming and player shaming and whatnot. I'm just happy to see that Sancho is, he's showing us he's showing us a different level to his game, and he's slowly coming into it. Even the challenge, there was a little bit of passion that he had when he was on the ground. He got fouled, and Romero was trying to kick the ball out his leg, and how he got up to just show a little bit of tenacity, a little bit of fight. That really shows you that he's really getting confident in his abilities and what he can do and what he can add to the team. And another assist today. Another great performance from Sancho. The only criticism I would give to Sancho is, I've noticed as of recent, is he tends to hold the ball a bit longer than he should. I think he needs to release the ball a bit quicker. And I do understand sometimes when he gets the ball, there isn't enough support. So he's got to kind of slow the game down a bit. But there are times where he could have just easily made a simple pass, laid it up for someone. But, he took too many touches, and it kind of closed up the options that we had. But that's my only criticism, which I'm sure the more we build that team chemistry, the more we're gonna see less of that from him. Um, you know, yeah. Other than that, guys, man, it was just overall, it was a good performance from the team. Tottenham came, Tottenham didn't have their best game, but they played pretty well. They played. I'm not a Tottenham fan, but I felt that they could have gotten something out of that game as well. We just had the GOAT playing for us, right? So that was a bit different. But Conte is going to be, hitting his head on the wall again. He's probably frustrated because one week, they blow a team out the water. The next week, it's a loss. So but it was a good game overall. The fullbacks today were very instrumental to our attack. Tellez, this is why we got to alternate between Shaw and Tellez. Like I've always said it, there is games where Shaw, if we're not going to see a lot of the ball, I prefer Shaw at the back because defensively, I believe he's better defensively. But when we're playing teams that we're going to have a bit of the ball, we're going to have a lot of possession. We need a player like Tellez because he's delivering to the box. From any angle of the field, he's able to deliver those balls, and those are priceless. And he's the kind of wing backs that Alex Ferguson used to adore. That's why Alex Ferguson did not like the likes of Nani. He didn't like his wingers just always trying to cut in and shoot and pass. He wanted people that could stretch the pitch and cross those balls in for the forwards to get a chance at scoring. So, definitely immense today. Dallo as well showed that, Dallo is also showing us that he has a role to play in this team as well. So it's really great. And even Tellez with his defending today, he showed us that he can defend. He can defend as well. So that's definitely great to see that there is some competition growing between certain positions on the field. Oh boy. Before I go with the negatives, I just wanted to say, guys, this is probably the midfield. When I look at the midfield today, of Sancho, Pogba, Matic, and Fred, or should I just say the core three of Matic, Fred, and Pogba. And yes, it wasn't a performance that blew us out the water or electrifying, but the one thing I noticed was the stability that we had in the middle of the pitch, and that only created more assurance to our defenders. Don't get me wrong, there was the two goals that Tottenham scored were defensive errors from, the handball with Tellez, which, we can all debate handballs in today's game, but it is the rule. It is a handball. It was a handball. Fair enough. We'll take it. But Maguire as well. It's, I think that goal was offsides, but, Maguire has been a liability for us for a very long time. But putting those two goals to the side, I think today's performance was mature. We had a bit of stability. At the end of the first half, our midfielders all had over 90% passing accuracy. That's something that we haven't seen in a long time. Usually they're floating around the 70s. And this is not me to say to call out names, but there was somebody not there in that midfield today. And um, to me, this has shown me that there is no player in Manchester United that is undroppable. And I think over the years, we've come to think that certain players are undroppable and, we need certain players to win every game. And I believe that that's not true. That's not true whatsoever. We do need, there's times we're going to need certain players, but I just feel like this is showing us that, sorry, as long as we have a true system and as long as we rotate the squad well, we can get the best out of our players. And so, yeah, that was really great to see that, the stability. Is Ralph going to use the same midfield moving forward? I doubt. I think that's unrealistic. And I think he's still going to make some changes to the future. But overall, guys, this is what we've been saying for the past couple of weeks is the performances have been there. Yes, they haven't been there for 90 minutes, but this is the first time as a United fan that I look forward to games now. Under the old manager, I wasn't looking forward to games. A lot of us were not looking forward to games because, yes, we might win the game, but for 90 minutes, it was like watching dry paint, it was like watching, So for me, I'm looking forward to seeing games. I'm seeing the player roles. I'm seeing what roles they're being given, what responsibilities they're given on the pitch, and they're actually going out there and executing those roles. The one thing that we've lacked is our finishing. We've been very poor in front of goal. Like Manchester United, since Ralph came in, we've had the most chances created in the league. But we've had very poor performances just because not that we haven't been creating, we just haven't been finishing our chances. So performance is always the foundation. I always say your performances, how you play as a team is always the foundation, and then the goals will come. And I hope that maybe this is a stepping stone for us to be able to, to start finishing those chances. And maybe now it could be different. But like we said, the top four race is heated up. It's, we're basically hanging on. We're basically hanging on for dear life as a club in the top four because Arsenal's looking good, and I know that Arsenal they do have a tough line of fixtures coming up, but Manchester United, all we can do right now is not drop any more silly points. We need to start. We need to start taking the games. We need to start winning games, guys. We can't keep dropping points to teams that we should be beating. But just wanted to say, man, that overall, it was a good team performance. It wasn't, out of this water. It definitely wasn't anywhere close to the FA Cup finals that we saw between Liverpool and Chelsea. It was nowhere close to that in terms of performance. But I think we, all those players today can leave the pitch saying with their heads held up high. So, so it was overall, it was just good, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you guys thought that, certain players maybe were not up to par. I know some people were saying Paul Pogba wasn't really, didn't really pull too many strings today. And that's fair. Sometimes you don't always need to, pull up trees to, to play well. I believe he had, just like his look, he had a very mature performance. He looked very mature today with the bald head. But, overall, I think everyone did their job. Matic, like I've said, he brings something that no other player on our team brings, which is stability, calmness to our midfield. That experience that he brings. I wish he could play every game, but I think Ralph is beginning to. I think Ralph is understanding what role Matic can play on this team. But I don't want to make this a long post-match review, guys. Like we said, we're going to see a lot of consistencies. Tottenham as well. I'm not confident that Tottenham is going to make it in the top four because they just have too many consistencies and they don't have this the quality like we have at United. So I think Tottenham has to rely on the likes of Harry Kane and Son, and Kulusevski. to play at the top, at the very top for them to perform. And today we saw that today. Kane didn't have one of his better games. Son didn't really have a great game. Kulishevsky got subbed off. I think it was the 60th minute. So it is what it is. But I think overall it was a good team performance from Manchester United. Tottenham will be a little bit disappointed that they didn't come out with at least a point at Old Trafford, but the game is the game, guys. But I really appreciate Footy Fantasy for allowing me to do this post-match review, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, take care.
That side says always. This side says believe.